Risk of rain. Risk of rain. Is there a risk of rain? Stay tuned to find out if there is a risk of rain or not. Hello and welcome back, YouTubers. I'm Protomario, and today's review is over Risk of Rain. I'd like to give a big thank you and shout out to Mr. Moo Moo on my Steam. He gifted me this game, and I gotta tell you, I love it. So first, let's get into what Risk of Rain actually is. Well, Risk of Rain is a greenlit game that was developed and published on the Steam Greenlight system. It just puts the games into your hands. So, Risk of Rain is a rogue-like, dungeon-esque kind of game that gives you a large number of power-ups as you progress. It is very difficult, but can be overcome several times if you know what you're doing. It was created by Hopoo Games, H-O-P-O-O Games, which is a design team comprised of two students, Paul Morse and Duncan Dermunde. So Risk of Rain, resetting, constantly different dungeon crawling game. You have your choice between several characters that get unlocked via different things. Sometimes you have to survive a certain amount of waves, other times you just have to kill a certain amount of creatures, and sometimes you just have to find a secret. Risk of Rain is a very simplistic type of game that requires the utmost skill in when deciding where to go, how, when, why, and what to do about it. Even though it's an action platformer type of rogue game, your power-ups and the luck of how you handle things will determine how well you do. When the game begins, it gives you a small little scenario. You're on a ship, the ship crash lands. Your goal is to get back onto the ship somehow. I don't know. The story's a bit flaky, but nevertheless, the point is to escape the planet. When you're going around trying to escape, you have to find a teleporter. Teleporters will allow you to progress to the next level. However, when you activate a teleporter, it does spawn monsters. Monsters throughout the level will spawn without the teleporter being activated endlessly. But once activated, the teleporter will stop monsters spawning after you survive the set amount of time, usually comprising of up to 90 seconds. So in that 90 seconds, monsters will spawn more than usual, so you have a good amount of monsters to deal with. Once you've slain all the monsters, you are free to go to the teleporter, but there's one more thing that happens when you activate the teleporter. A giant boss monster spawns. After you defeat the boss monster, it will usually drop an item that will help you. Some of these items are usable items, as in they get used and have a cooldown period of 40 seconds, and other items are just passive, in which they give you life, you stand still, recover life after being hit, sap life, or another different feature like jumping higher, killing enemies by jumping on them, extra fire, machine gun abilities, different power-ups that will just help you out on your journey. As you go along, each character you select will have 4 different abilities. Some are better than others, and others are worse than some. Because of the random-esque dungeons, it requires you to play a certain way. Do you choose to go to the teleporter immediately without getting the power-ups, sacrificing upgrades, versus your time? See, as you progress, you can start the game off on very easy to medium to hard. But as you progress, about roughly every 5 minutes, the difficulty will increase. Pretty soon you will be up to medium and very intense. So choose wisely. Do you want to deal with easy enemies as you progress in the levels, or do you want the power-ups and have to deal with hard enemies? Also, as you progress throughout the level, you will collect money. Money is what's used to actually unlock these power-ups. Some are locked in chests, others are just simply droids that you repair that help you out, and some are altars that are luck-based, and finally you have the demon structures that allow you to kill a certain amount of imps in exchange for an item. If you kill them all, you get the item. There are also blood shrines where you can give up some of your HP for items, and some excessive blood shrines which allow you to trade a lot of HP for 2 items. So each time you use these shrines and things of this nature, the price goes up. It's definitely necessary for you to be killing these monsters. There's also a beast entry, which allows you to get the journal entries of each monster and find out more about them. There's roughly about 7 levels that you have to progress through as you go through this game, each very unique in their format, but the formula stays the same. Go to the gate, activate the gate, kill the monster, progress. The final boss is very unique, and by the time you make it to the final boss, you'll be taking on 2 to 3 giant massive bosses at one time. Some of the bosses are extremely difficult, and others are pretty simple. Just depends on how you play the game. Again, picking the commando at the start and learning how to dodge attacks very easily is a great way to get through the game, but there are definitely other characters like the bandit and the sniper. It's just a matter of what you prefer, but playing through the game with each character is satisfying. Do note that once you pick this game up, you can beat it within a half an hour to an hour and a half, so the length is not where the gem is in this game, but the replay value is the fact that every time this game is ever changing. Unlocking everything will take some time, and people have logged 150 to 200 hours and still haven't unlocked everything. Point is, you will enjoy this game if you enjoy games like Spelunky and other roguelike dungeon crawlers. Just do realize that the difficulty is there. This game is available on Steam and can be found on sale for about $6 to $10, depending on what sales you catch. Perhaps you can get it for $2.50 if you're lucky, but again, it's well worth $6 if you decide to pick it up. Do note that as of now, it is only available on Steam, so if you don't have Steam, I'm sorry guys, but it's definitely worth getting and definitely worth taking a look at. Also, one major thing, if you have an older PC, this game will trudge along a lot. The collective grouping of monsters will cause a lot of lag, and your settings may have to be lowered to deal with how many monsters actually spawn on screen at once. Don't be surprised by the graphics and how small it is and how it looks. It will still affect your computer. Just be aware and look into it before you buy it. Otherwise, I give Risk of Rain an A- rating. It's definitely a fun game, and I would have loved a more zoomed approach, but the overall world looking effect is pretty nice when you're playing, and it's definitely fun to unlock new characters and play through with. I'm Protomario and I'm signing out, and if you enjoyed this review, be sure to check out my other reviews as well. And now comes the all-important decision of supporting the Maverick Army. Join the Maverick Rebellion today. Subscribe and become a Maverick. We are a tight-knit community who desire to change the gaming stereotype into something better. Together, we will revolutionize the world of gaming and the way gaming is viewed on YouTube and across all platforms. Mavericks unite. Subscribe today and become a Maverick with us. I'm Protomario, and I approve this message. Please note that in all my videos, if I use images from Google, that I do not own any of those images, and all images obtained from Google are owned by their respective owners and copyrights.